What's going on, YouTube? Long time no see. Um, I just kind of wanted to make a sort of a video about yesterday's game, and I know everyone has their um, opinions about it. I really kind of want to just dive into the aspect of how this affects the Atlanta Falcons. But first of all, let's just analyze the game. Peyton Manning, just he looked awful. All right, this just goes to show you that defense wins championships, okay? And if you're the Atlanta Falcons, if you're a fan of the Atlanta Falcons, if you're Mike Smith, you're looking at it and you're saying, man, last year was our year, because there is absolutely no way that the Falcons, at least for another 3 or 4 years, have a shot of going to the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you right now, because the way it's looking like, it's going to be either Seattle or San Francisco that's just going to be dominating the NFC for quite some time, because their defense is just insane. Okay, yesterday just proved how dominating the Seattle defense is. Okay, they completely shut down Peyton Manning. They made him completely one-dimensional. Absolutely had no running game. No Sean Marino was a zero. No factor at all. Peyton Manning had no time to do anything in the pocket. Okay? This is the guy who basically lives off preparation. He had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Could not do a single thing against this defense. That offensive line, this just goes to show you that front four of Seattle is just absolutely astounding, all right, to cause that much havoc on a really good quarterback. I mean, the Falcons have this speaks bad news for us, for Falcons fans, because we are not even close. If this is the tier to become a Super Bowl team, we are not even close. We're not even on the horizon of the Super Bowl. We might have a great offense, but I mean, you had the #1 offense in the league. You had the best offense in NFL history. Scored over 600 points, and they managed eight against Seattle. That was just an absolute decimation. So this trade that Dimitroff made to get Julio Jones, while he's a great player, oof, I would rather have the most disgusting defense and an inept offense. Because at least the defense can score you some points if the offense isn't doing anything. The defense can put you in position. And look what they did. Peyton Manning could not do anything. Those wide receivers, they couldn't break out. There was nothing that they could do. As soon as they caught the ball, they were either hit at the line, pushed back, ball was disrupted, knocked out of their hands like that. I mean, that was the best defensive showcase of any team I've ever seen, except the '85 Bears. Except I wasn't born. I don't know anything about the '85 Bears, but I've heard that was the echelon of defenses, was them. But now the talk is going to be like, well, should we get Clowney? No. We still shouldn't get Clowney. Okay, while he's a great player, our biggest glaring hole is the fact that we have no offensive line. Okay, so our clearly #1 priority is to get Jake Matthews, offensive tackle from Texas A&M. That's the #1 issue. And then it's just you gotta have a complete new defensive scheme. But I mean, this just goes to show you how coaching matters in the NFL. I mean, look at it. You had Pete Carroll, who's only been in the league for 3 years. He already wins a Super Bowl title. Takes his team to the playoff 3 straight years. Okay, beats the Saints his first year. Loses to us on just a dumb game. Okay, and then third year routes every team. I mean, not really routes them, but I mean, he put He put a, I mean, he pretty much shut down the Saints and the 49ers game. Those games are always back and forth. But again, it all came down to defense. And then this game was just no contest from the start. You know? Peyton Manning just looked awful. That defense just, oh my God, I am afraid to be in the NFC. I mean, to be quite honest, I wish some. I mean, I'm hoping there could be a switcheroo or something, because there's absolutely no way we can see any light of day. Not with this team that we have. Okay, we'll get Bierman back and we'll get Witherspoon back, but we have no corners. They're all rookies. They were rookies. Second year. They'll be in their second year this year. I just don't see. I mean, last year was our year to get to the Super Bowl. That was our window. That one year, that tiny window, gone. Because there's absolutely no way. They already have. I think they have the. Hold on a second. They already have the teams that we're playing for next year. Of course, Chicago, always, the defense is always big. Cleveland has a very underrated defense. That defense is disgusting. That's very good defense. Joe Hayden, that guy's nasty. And then they have the best wide receiver. What's his name? Josh Gordon, the second best wide receiver. And we play Detroit, who also has a very good wide receiver. Pittsburgh is pretty good. Arizona, meh. Cincinnati, that defense is that defense is retarded. Not retarded. My apologies. That defense is sick. They have a really, really good defensive line as well. But they're just always choke artists in the playoffs. So I'm not really too worried about them. The Giants, meh. Minnesota, meh. Green Bay really doesn't have a defense. But, I mean, I don't... even if we somehow make it alive over a 500 season and get to the playoffs, we won't see a light of day for a while. So, Mr. Mike Bald Smith Eagle, who thinks he's the defensive guru, I hope you did your research. I hope you did your homework and realized. Did you see a lot of these players on the Seahawks defense? 5th round, 6th round. But I mean, I'm just gonna do a little bit. What was Chancellor? What was he? Cam Chancellor. What round was he drafted? The 5th round. These guys, this is good coaching. That's all it is. You don't need the number 1 picks and the number 5. They just hoard picks. They get players, and they just sub them in if someone gets injured. You know what our recipe is? Build a great first string. If one player goes down, the ship sinks. That's not how you do it. That is not how you do it. So I'm just hoping that Mike Smith had done some research and said, oh, looks like they have a really strong defense. I think that's what we need to do. I think we need a suffocating defense. So we'll see what happens, but that's the draft isn't until May. So I'm just hoping we can do something. But again, just a decimating performance by Seattle. Falcons fans, we're going to be in the shithole for a while. I mean, hope they can prove me wrong, but honestly, the truth is that's just I don't see any team getting past Seahawks. I mean, the only team I see having a chance is out of that division is San Francisco. Those are just two very, very fast, tough defenses to get through, and they have great running games. They had over 123 yards on the ground. Seahawks had over 123 yards. Russell Wilson had roughly 200 yards, but the focus was the D. It was all about the D, baby. They forced the turnovers to put them in good positions. They didn't capitalize on. I mean, this game would have been a monumental. It would have been. I mean, it was already a blowout, But they could have easily scored in the 50s or 60s had they converted the touchdowns when the Broncos were fumbling the ball left, right, and center, and fucking Peyton Manning was just dinking the ball and throwing it to Cam Chancellor. That's how you beat Peyton Manning. That's how you beat any quarterback, is by just having a sick, nasty front four that can get in their face, disrupt the rhythm, make every throw contested. Every single throw in that game was contested by Peyton Manning. He could not get into a groove at all. There were maybe 1 or 2 times where he threw the ball where he actually had a pocket to sit there and analyze the field. But aside from that, 3-step drop, would look 5 people in his face. Just he had to throw the ball in the air just to get something going. He couldn't do anything. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid because this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen to us because we have to deal with it. We have to get through that. And that's a scary team. Congrats to Pete Carroll, man. You turned that division, you turned that team around in 3 years. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. This is how you do it. Follow the formula of the Seahawks, baby. Defense all the way.